everyone, welcome to the channel. Welcome back if you've been here before. Today I wanted to do some messages from your inner child, and we're going to be looking at what does your inner child need, any messages your inner child may have for you at this time. And it's just something that I thought of since we're going into summer, and you can do some summer activity, or I guess I should say we are in summer, depending on where you are in the world, of course. So we're going to be doing messages from your inner child. We have 3 options today. Before we get started, as a reminder, this is a general reading, so take what resonates, leave the rest behind. You know yourself best. So the 3 options we have is going to be the Little Red Riding Hood, Jack and the Beanstalk, and the Wizard. So take a few minutes to center, ground yourself. If you need to, you can pause the video and ask yourself, your higher self, angels, guides, whatever it is that you believe in, which pile has a message for you. And let's jump right in. Hi, pile number 1. Welcome to your reading. This is going to be a reading if you chose Little Red Cap or Little Red Riding Hood. Try to get her to stand up right there. Perfect. So as a reminder, it's a general reading. Take what resonates, leave the rest behind. I picked some tarot cards to start us off with. And we're basically just looking at any messages your inner child has for you. So we have the Sun, 2 of Cups, Ace of Wands, 5 of Wands, 10 of Swords, Page of Swords, King of Pentacles, Queen of Wands. All right, pile number 1. Sorry, these are going to be a little bit glary because they are very glossy cards, so the ring light makes the glare. Hopefully you can somewhat see them. All right, so pile number 1, let's get started. You chose Little Red Riding Hood, which in this deck is actually the Fool. And it's her adventure that we're going on in the deck. It's almost, she's taking the place of the Fool in traditional tarot. So we have the Sun, 2 of Cups, Ace of Wands, King of Pentacles, 5 of Wands, 10 of Swords, Page of Swords, Queen of Wands. And what I am getting here is your inner child is ready for adventure. So it's very interesting that you chose this, and then these are the cards that come out because the top cards were chosen intuitively, so I did not see what the other cards were to choose the top card. There is a sense here of you've reached a place of rock bottom, and that's represented there by the 10 of Swords, a place of there's nothing else for me. With the 10 of Swords, it's very painful. It could be betrayal. It could be heartbreak. But your inner child went through a lot and has gone through a lot. But there's a sense now that your inner child is ready to take over the narrative. Your inner child is ready to experience life on their terms. And we see that here with the Sun, the 2 of Cups, the Ace of Wands. This is your inner child saying, it's time to allow our inspiration to lead the way. It's time to allow us to lead the way. It's time to release certain things that happened in the past. For some in my pile number 1, you may be afraid of not fitting in, of being in competition with others. There's kind of this sense of you're someone who likes to play it small. In reality, you are very unique, very eccentric with that Queen of Wands there. And you're meant to stand out. You're meant to be seen. You're meant to explore the world from a place of authenticity. And for my pile number 1s to be authentic, it means that you're probably not going to be going down the road that everyone goes down. And that's okay. It's about paving your own way. And again, you did pick the Fool, or the equivalent to the Fool in this deck, which is Little Red Riding Hood. With the King of Pentacles here, I feel like you are someone who's very responsible, pile number 1. This feels like my people that are, constantly working, constantly taking care of responsibilities, perhaps even other people. And there's kind of this message here of it's time to relax into the moment, because I feel like there is a lot of planning here. Because this is supposed to be the Mad Hatter's watch, and it's being shown there, and I'm being hyper focused on that. And to me that says that you're, perhaps you're always future tripping, where you're trying to figure out where you're going and how you're going to make things happen. And that is a good thing to have. That is a good thing to do, but not at the expense of the present moment, because in the present moment is where we create the future. So if you are constantly reaching for something that is just outside of your reach, that's going to be the experience you always have. And what your inner child wants you to do is ground your energy into something more, into something that's more inspirational to you, and into something that you can be in the present moment. For some of you, there's a need to connect to your body. You're very disconnected from the body because you're constantly in the mind. And as you connect to the body, you bring in the emotions. You bring in, you figure out what brings joy to you. Because I do feel for some of you in pile number 1, you're still seeking your purpose. You're still seeking the thing that is important to you, the thing that the thing that calls to you and that keeps you going. And in order to do that, you're going to have to slow down and allow yourself to receive messages from the inner child, messages from your higher self. And again, don't be afraid to not fit in. Don't be afraid to stand out. Some of you, this is very specific, and I'm going to say it. Some of you perhaps want to dress differently, and there's a little bit of a nerve of what are people going to think. Like perhaps you dress a lot like other people, nothing that stands out, but perhaps you want to dress more uniquely. For some reason, I'm kind of seeing more of like the goth aesthetic, or like the, a lot more artistic aesthetic, but there's kind of a push and pull of you don't want to necessarily stand out. And your inner child is saying, it's time to be more authentic and to make yourself happy. It's not just about other people and their comfort. Very interesting. Let's see what else we have here. Pile number 1. Cinderella magic. Actually, this is kind of, obviously not exactly her clothing, but this is kind of more of the look I was getting. Fairy ointment, the sight. Yeah. Some of you are very artistic, very spiritual. Some of you are clairvoyant. Very much into fantasy. Like this kind of feels like the archetype of the child magical to me. The Scylla, the brave, courage. Yeah. It's time to step into your courage, pile number 1. That's what your inner child wants you to know. It's time to step into magic, to make the magic happen for you. Look at this. What you are feeling challenged by, what you are in competition with, what you are constantly thinking about for many of you is time. There's something you're putting a lot of pressure on yourself because of something with timing. Perhaps you feel like you're too late to do something. Perhaps you feel like you should have done more by now. It's time to be in the present moment and relax a little bit more. Let go of that pressure. Don't pressure yourself so much. Be in the present moment. Make the best decisions for you. Step into your courage, into your power. Understand that you have the ability to know what's best for you. For some of you, your inner child was broken down to the point where you doubt yourself, you doubt your own decisions, you doubt your ability to make decisions for yourself that are helpful to you. And your inner child is saying, no, you're very wise. It's time to take the reins of your life. It's time to choose how you are going to interact with the world. I feel like for some of you in pile number 1, actually for quite a few of you in pile number 1, a lot of your choices were taken from you by caretakers, parents. Look at this again, magic, make a wish, believe in miracles, magic surrounds you. It's time to see the magic in everyday life, the magic in the ordinary days. That's really what I'm getting. Just be open to seeing the magic in ordinary days. For some of you, having a magical practice, practicing some form of magic on a regular basis would be very helpful, because it would kind of give you the opportunity to connect with spirit in a way that also gives you a little bit of control and something to do with your hands, something to do with your time, and something to ground you into the present moment. So some of you could be looking into something like paganism and being more active with rituals and things like that. Take that as it resonates, of course. Abundance. Enjoy the bounty of life. Your supply is unlimited. Blessings are coming to you. Yeah. Allow yourself to manifest, because you're very good at manifesting, but you need to allow yourself to make decisions. And you need to make decisions from a place of love, from a place of joy. For some of you, you're seeking your soul family. That is coming in, but you need to put yourself out there, because respectfully, what I'm getting is some of my pile number ones, you're kind of wanting to fit in. But if you were to draw in friendships from that energy, it wouldn't necessarily be helpful, because those are not your people, because that's not who you truly are. So the more that you step into your authenticity and into your uniqueness, the more you can meet people that are on your level and that would connect with you and understand you. Action. Now is the perfect time to act. Take inspired action towards your dreams. Move forward with confidence. And that's what this is about. Your inner child wants to move forward. Your inner child wants you to take the reins. That keeps coming in. It's time to take the reins. It's no longer time to have to check in with other people before you make decisions. It's no longer about you feeling unsure of yourself. You know, here's a secret, pile number one. A lot of us, when we make choices, we don't know. There's no way of knowing. But we have to trust that if we make the wrong choice, or the choice that leads us to the path that we perhaps are not the best path for us, that we can course correct and make different choices and go a different way. So it's about trusting yourself more. You know, start small and work your way up. See what these two have to say. Follow the white rabbit. Curiosity meets opportunity. Yeah, that's what this is about. This is about you being curious, you allowing inspiration to lead the way. And as you're able to do that, Spirit is going to give you the opportunities that you need. Mortality. Life is brief, bright, beautiful, and yours to live. I actually really love this card, and I think it matches perfectly with what we were saying here. Because they're holding up time in both of these cards, right? We see that here, and then we have mortality. And this is saying life is short, but it's up to you to enjoy it. And the only way that we can enjoy life is in the present moment. Because again, if you're always looking forward to something, it's just out of your reach. So it's about finding the magic in the present moment. Yes, it's good to have goals. It's good to work towards something. I'm not saying that it's not. But how can you do that while at the same time being able to take in the beauty of the present moment? That is what your inner child wants you to do, pile number one. Believe. The best is yet to come. Believe. Yeah, for some of you in pile number one, you've kind of lost your belief in magic for a while, your belief in what's possible for a while. And it's that 10 of Swords energy, that deep pain, betrayal, that feeling like there's nothing left to go, nowhere left to go. Voyage. I am safe and loved no matter where I am. For some of you, you may be moving, or you may be traveling, or it's something that you want to do. For others of you, this is your inner child saying, how can we create a sense of self and stability in self that cannot be shaken up by outside sources? Embracing. I embrace and love all of my life. Again, being in the present moment, enjoying the present moment, and understanding that yes, you can create change, but it has to happen in the present moment. So you need to be able to not only connect, but find the beauty, because this is about being present, finding the beauty in life, and experiencing beautiful moments in everyday life. Not just putting that that thing on a pedestal that is the thing that you have to achieve in order to be happy. It's about finding happiness in the now. And it's quite possible, pile number 1. Magic lands. Visit enchantment. Again, some of you want to travel. There could be some fears around that. If you want to travel, this is your inner child saying, let's go on an adventure. And I just forgot, you did pick the Fool. So for some of you, it's literal travel. Like, yeah, let's travel. Of course, there are things happening in the world as I'm filming this, but this is timeless. So if you can travel safely, that is an invitation to do so. Some of you just need to get out. For some reason, I'm seeing some of you just going into like a park, into like, a forest area, into beaches, anything that's local that you can get to, that can connect to nature and just kind of observe the energy around there and be in that moment. Nature can be very healing for this pile because you struggle with grounding yourself. So being out in nature, kind of taking a walk, would be very healing, very grounding. Fire dragon, and this one says, dragon live within our minds and we must harness their fire. Yeah, this is about you. There's a lot of fire energy that you're being called to work with. The fire dragon can be one of those creatures that you work with, either through meditation, writing, drawing, painting, fill in the blank. But again, how can you retrain your mind as to what is possible, and how can you go after the things that bring you joy? And for some of you, again, I don't think you necessarily know what those things that bring you joy are, but how can you tap into them? How can you create space for you to explore what that is? Peaceful garden, send healing thoughts. Yeah. For some of you, you're definitely seeking some inner peace. Your inner child is definitely seeking inner peace. And that's why you're kind of being invited to just relax a little bit more, to spend more time in the present moment, to take a break from doing so much. Oba? Yeah, this is about, your domestic life. And I think that this is also about your internal world and your internal sense of security, your sense of self, your sense of comfort and safety within yourself, and your confidence. What have we been talking about this whole reading? It's your individuality. That is what your inner child is wanting from you. It's wanting you to step into. These were my last advice cards, so we'll see these last. Let's see what the self-care. Pile number 1. Ground yourself. Constantly grounding, finding a daily grounding practice would be very helpful to you. Again, going out into nature, if you can, to ground yourself would be very helpful as well. Connect with the ancestors. There's something about ritual that keeps coming up for this pile, so take that as it resonates, but kind of being able to connect to the present moment and do something that involves some form of ritual would be very helpful. So I picked these Disney Tarot as the last advice for you. Death with Ursula. And this is about transformation, pile number 1. What requires transformation? The 10 of Swords is kind of almost a mini death, right? It's, I have reached rock bottom. This is as bad as it's going to get. And this is now saying it's the rebirth part. It's time to let go of the old and step into the new. And you did choose the Fool here. So what adventure are you being called to? And finally, Justice with Esmeralda. And justice there is all about bringing in balance, clearing karma. So your inner child is really asking, how can we transform the energy that we are currently in? We have balanced the karma. Now it's time to start on a new adventure, an adventure that feels more authentic to who we are and more empowering. Making choices from an empowered place, from a place of, taking back your power. That is all I have for you, pile number 1. If you like this reading, please like, subscribe, hit the notification bell to be notified when I post next. If you have suggestions for future videos, please leave that in the comment section. And if you'd like to book a personal reading, that information is in the description box below. Thank you so much for watching, and I will talk to you soon. Bye for now. Hi, pile number 2. Welcome to your reading. This is going to be your reading if you chose the Jack and the Beanstalk card, which is actually the Hanged Man card. So perhaps you're going through a moment of complete surrender and you're trying to reconnect to yourself. Perhaps things aren't moving much, or perhaps you're trying to reconnect to yourself and you've kind of put yourself in a place of a timeout. So we have the Four of Wands, the Emperor, Three of Pentacles, Page of Pentacles. I will fix these in a minute. Two of Wands. If I remember correctly, this is the pile that got the most cards. Then we have Ace of Wands, Nine of Swords, Six of Swords. All right. Four of Cups. Okay, pile number 2. Let's talk about what's happening here. So for my pile number 2s, there seems to be kind of a push and pull energy happening here. Your inner child is trying to heal from something here. For some of you, it's going to vary because it's a general reading, so take it as it resonates. But there's a lot of fear here. There's a lot of the sense of needing to leave something behind. There's also this sense of kind of sadness and grief for your inner child. But at the same time, there's this kind of sense of, it's almost like your inner child is ready to seek more, to open up, to go on an adventure. But again, there's that energy of fear that's kind of taking over, that's not allowing you to fully explore your creativity or whatever it is that you want to go after. For some of you in pile number 2, you want to make more friends. You are seeking more connection. That's kind of becoming a little bit hard for you. Whether it's the state of the world as I'm filming this, it is timeless, but we can talk about that. Or it's just your ability to connect with others. There is a sense of a little bit of sadness here and almost frustration. For some of you, you grew up in a household that had a parent that was very authoritative, and that kind of left its mark on you. It left you feeling very anxious, very nervous. For some of you, there is a little bit of a social anxiety that happens here, so it makes it a little bit hard to connect with others. For others of you, you've kind of just gotten stuck in a rut where you are seeking newness, but at the same time, you don't know exactly how to go about that. And I do keep getting this sense of wanting to connect with others, but not exactly knowing how to. And your inner child is saying, take it one step at a time. Be patient with yourself. It feels like for my pile number 2s, you're growing impatient with the process. You are kind of frustrated by certain personality traits. And I get that you're very frustrated by the fact that you're feeling perhaps a little bit down in the dumps, or perhaps, anxious, fearful of certain things. And there's almost a sense of a comparison with other people of saying, I don't know how they live their life. I don't know how they get to, point A and B where I can barely do that. I don't know how normal people are living their life. And this is kind of saying, don't compare yourself to others. It's also encouraging you to take one step at a time. There's a need to leave a comfort zone. There's a need to try something new. For some of you, this is about getting out there and starting to explore more, put yourself out there more. Be open to connecting, be open to exploring, even if it's by yourself. But I feel like for many of you, this is about bringing in soul family. And there is a need to push past the boredom, the frustration, to push past the feeling of there's nothing else for me. For some of you, getting out there and trying to physically move your body would be very helpful. This is very blue energy. I mean, we have the Nine of Swords and the Four of Cups with the Six of Swords in the middle. And your inner child is saying, it's time to try to pick yourself up from this. And I know that that's not, I don't want to be condescending when I say that, because I personally know what it's like to be in this energy, and I know that it's not something that you can just get up from and walk away from. But there is a need to put a little bit of effort into it. For some of you, I will say I am seeing therapy, counseling as a possibility. Take that as it resonates, especially if you're feeling like you are in this rut that you can't break free from. And you did choose the Hangman. So there is that energy there, even in the card that you chose, the image that you chose, of kind of feeling a bit suspended, feeling like not much is happening. But your inner child wants you to know that there is a new beginning. There is more coming for you, but you need to connect to the things that bring you joy, to the things that inspire you, to the things that you are passionate about. And for some of you, for many of you, you still have to find out what that thing is. For some people in my pile number 2, there's some father issues that need healing. It could be a mother, but I'm mainly getting a father with the Emperor there. The Wild Swans, dedication. And this is about dedicating yourself to your own growth, to the things that you want to create. With the swan there, for some reason, kind of being brought back to the ugly duckling, which I don't know why I'm making that connection. But some of you may need to kind of work on your confidence and how you view yourself. Again, for some in this pile, therapy would be very helpful. The Day Boy and Night Girl, and it says balance. Absolutely. And what did I say? There's this energy here of almost push and pull, because it's like this is what you want, but this is what's currently happening. And it's like that energy of push and pull. And it's not very easy energy. The Rose Elf, Revelations. Yeah. There's a lot that's coming, that's trying to come into the light. There's a lot that's being revealed through your emotions, through your triggers. Red Riding Hood, Rites of Passage. Yeah. Some of you are in the dark night of the soul, which is kind of that very anxious, I don't know which way to go energy. But you are transitioning over. This does feel somewhat close to a different pile, so just mentioning that. But Revelations, there's a lot that that's being brought to you for you to realize, for you to see, for you to connect with. This almost feels like your inner child is asking for some shadow work, like you need to do some shadow work around the inner child. Because this feels like very heavy energy for an inner child. And your inner child really wants you to keep going. Don't give up on yourself. There is a rite of passage coming in. There's something that's going to reveal itself, some clarity coming into you that's going to help you move forward and see things from a different perspective. Again, I do see that some of you, therapy would be very helpful. Let's see what the unicorns have to say. Courage. You are safe. Fear is an illusion. Set strong boundaries. For some of you, you need to work on your boundaries. There is a lot of fear here. And it's kind of taking over, because I feel like you are very courageous. You are wanting to explore. You are wanting to live life in a different way, but the fear is almost crippling for my pile number 2s. Rebirth. Reinvent yourself. Give life to your dreams. Create a new reality. And that's what your inner child wants you to work towards, a rebirth. And there's revelations coming that are going to lead you to this rite of passage, which is the rebirth, if you're open to it. Expansion. Spread your wings and soar. Share your message and shine your light. Show the world what you're made of. For some of you, you're going to have the opportunity to tell your story in some way. Perhaps you're a storyteller. Perhaps you want to write a memoir. Perhaps you want to talk about everything that you've learned through this process, because it feels like it has been a very long and painful process, but that you have learned a lot, and you're going to be able to share that with other people to perhaps help them on their journey. But you are expanding at this time, pile number 2. It does not feel that way, but there's a lot happening and there's new information coming in. You are rare and free. There are not many like you. And that's what you need to understand. Again, this is very similar to a different pile. But you need to understand that you are unique. You're not meant to do things the way that other people are meant to. Sometimes when we think of quote unquote normal, we try to box ourselves into this idea of what we need to look like, what we need to be like, how we need to operate. And I feel like for pile number 2, you grew up in a household where there were many rules, where being normal or doing things a certain way were really pushed on you. And that has left a lot of anxiety because it's not who you are. It's not where you fit in. And this is your inner child saying, it's okay to be rare. It's okay to break free from this idea of who and what you need to be. And it's okay to love yourself fully as you are and dedicate yourself to who you want to be and step out of your comfort zone. Growing up, wanting to grow and experience rejection of perpetual youth. Yeah, some of you are breaking free. I'll put her there. Some of you are breaking free from who you were meant to be, who you were told you were meant to be. And some of you are realizing that who you are and who you were meant to be is not even close. And that is okay. That you're not necessarily supposed to be this version of yourself, that you can outgrow, that you can make your own decisions. Investigate, look closely, ask questions, think before acting. For some of you, you are open to, your inner child is encouraging you to investigate, to try out new things, to be open to new experiences. Because again, I feel like this pile is still kind of seeking that thing that brings them joy. Or even if you found something that does bring you joy, that feels like it's part of your purpose, you're still not fully in tune with it. So there's a little bit of exploration that needs to happen. And that's what this card is saying. It's saying, ask questions, look closely, try new things. It's also saying, be mindful of not just accepting anything and everything that comes your way. Be discerning, set some boundaries in place. Yeah, we did have courage here with set strong boundaries, and now we have investigate, think before acting. And this is also about boundaries with yourself. Adventure. Wonderful new experiences fill my life. Yeah, be open to adventure. And courage again. I live life passionately and courageously. Yeah, your inner child is saying let's connect to courage, because you are courageous. You are absolutely courageous, pile number 2. But that fear, that sadness, that frustration with yourself, it makes it hard for you to connect to that. But it's there, it's within you. You just have to tap into it. And how do you tap into that? By making your choices, by choosing to tap into it, doing things your way, starting out small. Starting out with everyday tasks that are small, that feel more manageable, and working your way up. See what these 3 have to say. Dogwood Fairy, take time to dream in the flowers. Yeah, what are your dreams? What are your passions? What gets you going? What inspires you? Spend some time looking into that, investigating that. Perhaps journaling about it. Teddy bear picnic, enjoy a delicious garden party with friends. For some of you, you are definitely wanting to connect with friends. If you already have a friend group, it would be probably wise to connect with them. I don't know if you can go out with them, depending on where you are and how safe it is for you to do so. But definitely connecting and trying to, a picnic is outdoors, so that may be possible for you. For others of you, this is a reminder that you will be making friends, that you will be bringing in some soul family. But again, you have to kind of get out there and put yourself out there, because it feels like for some of you, you're spending a lot of time indoors just kind of feeling crappy about what's happening in your life and the state of the world. And no one is going to be able to find you in that energy. Puck's magic flower of sleep. Understand the messages given to you in dreams. For some of you, your inner child is connecting with you in your dreams, and it would be wise to keep a dream journal, especially if you know that you're having dreams. For others of you, set the intention that if you're having dreams, you're going to be able to recall them and keep a dream journal next to your bed. So when you wake up, you can just write anything down. For others of you, this is about connecting to your dreams and what you want to create in the world. Because again, it feels like you're still kind of seeking a little bit of that. Let's see who we have here. Pele, determination. You have determination and dedication. It's time to dedicate yourself to who you are, to being exactly who you are, not allowing people to tell you who you need to be. Spending time with yourself. You are very determined, pile number 2. There's just some gunk here that you need to push past. And again, I'm not trying to minimize or say that it's easy, because it's not. And balance. I believe we had balance before. Yep. This was balance too. Yeah, you're bringing in balance into your life. Your inner child is saying it's time to bring in some balance. For some of you, working with the elements of water and fire, the fire to help you kind of tap into your inner fire, the water to cleanse and bring in more balance. For some of you, there's a need to be more observant of the emotions, and when they're coming up, those feelings of frustration, sadness, observe them, thank them for their message, and allow them to move on. When we reject or try to ignore, it just becomes a bigger problem. Music. So for self-care, listen to some music. If some of you are musicians, this is saying play some music, but I'm getting, listen to some music that is going to motivate you. For some of you, getting out there, kind of going for a jog, a walk, a run, and just listening to music. Or if you have a gym membership and want to go on a treadmill, drink tea. Some of you, chamomile, lavender, if that is something that you can do. Spending some time with amethyst as well. Bringing in balance, soothing yourself, your soul. Some of you, there's a tea blend. This is very interesting. There's like some sort of tea blend. It's almost like a tea blend that you can actually take a cleansing bath with. Take that as it resonates. So these are the last 2 messages, and this is advice from your inner child. Chariot, yep. And the Chariot, and that's Mulan and Mushu there. And the Chariot is all about taking the reins and deciding who we want to be and taking the action to become that person. Temperance, Jasmine, and Raja, I believe. And Temperance is all about balance, creating a mixture. And we see that here. I actually really like this card. She's blending 2 things and creating something that resonates with who she is. So bringing in balance. Also, this is saying, pile number 2, this is about the middle path. Don't go into extremes. It doesn't all have to be black or white, happy or sad. There's a need to find moderation and balance, and there's a need to follow the middle path at this time. Don't be so absolute in your thinking and in your ways of doing things. That's why balance is being called for here. It's almost like my pile number 2s. You kind of go into a room and you lock yourself in there and you decide you're going to be sad, or you go and you're out there and you're having the time of your life. Like there's no in between. And this is about creating balance and bringing in more of that middle path. All right, pile number 2, that is all I have for you. If you like this video, please like, subscribe, hit the notification bell. If you have ideas for future videos, please let me know in the comment section. And if you'd like to book a personal reading, that information is in the description box below. Thank you for watching, and I will talk to you soon. Bye for now. Hi, pile number 3. Welcome to your reading. This is going to be your reading if you chose the Wizard, which is the Hierophant in traditional tarot. So you could be storytellers, you could be working on belief systems at this time, or you could just like wizards, which is completely understand. All right, so pile number 3. Remember, this is a general reading. Take what resonates, leave the rest behind. So we have the World, Queen of Cups, Four of Pentacles, Seven of Pentacles, Queen of Wands, and then we have the High Priestess, Temperance. All right, so we have Ace of Cups and the Star. Okay, beautiful energy, pile number 3. All right, pile number 3. So the messages from your inner child. Some of you, there's quite a few messages here. Some of you are trying to close out a cycle, a chapter in your life. Some of you are, perhaps you're coming to the end of school. Perhaps you're deciding to change careers. Perhaps you're in the middle of ending a relationship. But there's a sense of something is coming to a close. And I feel like for some of you, for many of you, it's how you view certain things. You're learning how to live life in a different way based on who you want to be, instead of coming from a place of fear and nervousness. For some of you, you have kind of put walls up around yourself, and you've kind of been in a phase of almost a little bit of a loner phase, because you've been trying to get to know yourself. You've been trying to figure out who you are and what you want out of life. And you're also getting in touch with your emotions, with your feelings, with the communication between emotions and, intuition. For my pile number 3s, some of you are very artistic. You could be working on an artistic project, or you could be working on some inner child healing through some form of artistic endeavor. It could be painting, drawing, writing, music, fill in the blank, anything really. But you're stepping into your power, and I feel like for this pile, you have been doing inner child work, and you've been doing a lot of work. You're very spiritual. Some of you are definitely able to connect with the spirit world rather easy. And there's a sense of you're trying to find the perfect mix in your life between how can I put myself out there more, but at the same time, how can I keep myself protected? How can I be more artistic, but at the same time keep up with work, school? How can I be more spiritual, but keep up with my career, school, fill in the blank? So there is this energy of you're kind of in this transitional phase of just figuring out what the best mixture is for you. Now, with the Queen of Cups, Queen of Wands, you feel things very deeply, very strongly. You are very unique, and you're stepping into your uniqueness. You are also stepping into the things that inspire you. For some of you, you are taking on a creative project. For others of you, again, you're just figuring out a balance in your life so that you can do all the things that you love, and your inner child is acknowledging this. There is a sense of you feeling more hopeful, more optimistic about life and where it's headed, and you're being more open with your emotions and how you feel, and also open to feeling your emotions and your feelings as they wash through you. Because I feel like for pile number 3, there was some time where perhaps, emotions were not the thing that you wanted to connect to, and you kind of perhaps even repressed some emotions, or, kept busy to avoid feeling certain things, to avoid being in a certain energy that was not, that felt heavy. Now, with that Ace of Cups and Four of Pentacles, some of you are ready to connect with others, whether it's romance or not. Take that as it resonates. And you're opening yourself up, you're opening your heart up, and you're kind of learning how to be more vulnerable. And some of you are doing this through some sort of artistic endeavor. I should say creative, because I think sometimes people hear artistic and they kind of narrow it down, but creative, anything that's creative to you. Let's take a look at what else we have here. go with these guys. Fairies, words. Yeah, you could be writers. You could absolutely be writers. This is also your inner child reminding you, be careful how you word things and what you tell yourself, the stories that you tell yourself. For some of you, you did pick the Hierophant, so you may be storytellers. The poisoned apple, jealousy. We're going to talk about that in a minute. Rumpelstiltskin, secrets. And we do have the High Priestess here. Gretel, ingenuity. That just moved everything. And finally, fair, brown, and trembling, gifts. Can we see her? No, we're going to put her here. Okay, so pile number 3. There is this sense that you are very powerful when it comes to your words. You are very creative. You are able to tap into the spirit world. For some of you, automatic writing or doing some sort of journaling where you are asking questions and receiving answers would be very helpful because you are quite tapped into the spirit realm. You could be channelers as well. You can channel information from spirit. You could be tarot readers. You could be oracle card readers. There's a lot of intuitiveness with this pile. With jealousy here, I feel this energy that this is speaking to you perhaps comparing yourself to other people and comparing your work. I don't feel like this is jealousy in a malicious way. It just feels like perhaps you compare yourself and you kind of end up saying, perhaps you're trying to start a YouTube channel, for example, let's use that. And you're looking at other people and you're just like, I don't know, I'm not good. Look at how great they are. Look at how many subscribers they have. Look at how they do things. I don't do things this way. It could be the same with writing a book, doing anything really. And we do kind of have here someone who looked like they were either studying or writing and they kind of fell asleep on it. So there is that energy there with jealousy. I also think that this is speaking to a comparison of your gifts with other people's gifts. So perhaps you are very intuitive. You are psychic, fill in the blank. And you kind of look at the way that you do things and you're just like, but it's not like the way that so-and-so does things. I wish I had this gift instead of this gift. Again, I don't feel like it's a malicious jealousy. I don't necessarily feel like there's anyone around you that is also jealous of you in a malicious way. I do think that there are people around you that perhaps notice you and they wish they were like you, but I don't think it's malicious. So take that as it resonates. But with secrets here and the High Priestess and gifts, you are very gifted. And your inner child wants you to tap into your spiritual gifts at this time. And I think you have been doing that because you have been working with your inner child. And you're creating a more balanced life existence. But this is saying make sure to spend some time getting some guidance for yourself. You could even give guidance to others if that is something that you feel called to. Yeah, let's look at these. Keeping up, immense effort, advance. What did I say? You're trying to keep up with someone. You're trying to compare yourself to someone, and your inner child is saying, what's the point? You're great as you are. Don't doubt yourself. Don't compare yourself. For some of you, whatever you're working on, there's a need to avoid other people that are doing similar things because it's actually bringing your energy down. You can't go back to yesterday. Be in the present moment. Absolutely. Yeah, for some of you, this is about, especially with the star here, moving forward. And with the star, you are meant to be successful. So some of you could be very successful channelers in the future, but you need to be able to do things your own way. And there's also a need to kind of let go of that constant comparing or constant feeling of, I wish I had done this differently. I wish I had done that differently because it's not helping you. And you are great as you are, pile number 3. Messages for a rabbit, service to the animal world. For some of you, you are very connected to the animal realm. You can have pets in the 3D reality, but you are also connected to spirit animals. The owl, the wolf, the horse coming in very strongly, the otter, butterflies, and dragonflies are coming in very strongly for this pile. Could be some sort of cat as well, like a domestic cat. Beauty. I am deeply and profoundly beautiful. Yeah, there's a need to appreciate yourself more. You're very harsh on yourself, pile number 3, and your inner child is saying it's time to recognize just how beautiful you are inside and out. Compassion. The vibration of compassion shines through my every cell. And this is about you being compassionate towards yourself. You're very compassionate towards other people, but you can tear yourself down quite harshly, pile number 3. Playfulness. My joy is the greatest gift, and I give to others. I think that when you are in the energy of playfulness, where you are in the energy of joy, of happiness, that is when you are really able to tap into your gifts and kind of give that to other people. And that's what is, that's why you're being asked to let go of this energy of kind of comparing yourself to others, of jealousy, of trying to, be in the past. Because when your energy is present and when you are feeling joyful, when you are feeling light, that is when your best work comes through. Let's take a look at what the unicorns have to say. Miracles. Have faith that your miracle is on its way. Your prayers have been answered. Surrender the how. Some of you are trying to figure out exactly how you need to do things, and it's about surrendering and allowing the process to just be natural. Allowing yourself to do things in a way that's natural and that comes to you naturally. It's almost like you're always asking, well, how do I do this? And this is kind of saying relax into yourself and you will figure it out. You don't need anyone else outside of you to tell you. Past lives. Release your past life karma. You are an old soul with deep wisdom. Healing your past lives will raise your vibration. You are definitely an old soul, pile number 3. And you are very wise. This high priestess here and all these other cards, you are very wise. You can tap into a lot of wisdom. But again, you need to be present and you need to kind of release yourself from the pressure you're putting on yourself in order to do that. For some of you working with animals, the rabbit as well, I just saw him, would be very helpful. Imagination. Envision the new reality. Give yourself permission to dream. Believe in unlimited possibilities. Again, allow your imagination to run wild without comparing your imagination or your technique or your way of doing things to other people. For some of you, you need to unplug from what other people are doing. Unfollow, not look at their work for a while, and just do you. Prosperity. A gift of money is on its way. Your income is increasing. Manage your finances with love. For some of you, at the beginning of the message, what came through was kind of like a balancing, a blending of energies. For some of you, what you're trying to figure out is how to have your creative outlet be more of an income for you. And that is coming. Again, it's almost like you need to release yourself from the expectations. What I see is someone who's boxing themselves in, like you're keeping yourself in this box, but your success and your way of doing things is completely outside of it because it hasn't quite been done yet. So if you are an artist and you're drawing, your way of doing art is completely different from the people that are popular, and that's okay. You don't have to fit in to their mold. You can come up with your own way. If you are a writer, you don't have to write in a way that other people do. It's about breaking free and kind of unleashing yourself. I'm also seeing the phoenix as one of the animals. Journey of fantasy. Use your imagination to create a world of delight. For some of you, you could be writers, storytellers. And you're needing to connect and kind of allow yourself. So if you're writing a book, if you're writing a story, some of you are trying to... I honestly feel like it would be a children's book or a children's story or fantasy, and you're trying to box yourself into what's been done. Release that. Disconnect and do your own thing. Connect to your own imagination. Excalibur, be strong and honest, and you will achieve your quest. Yeah. I mean, we have Excalibur. You are definitely going to get there. We have prosperity. You just have to allow miracles. You have to allow the process to unfold. Knight and the dragon, feel your power. For some of you working with the dragon spirit animal. But there's a need to feel your power because I don't feel like you feel powerful. Pile number 3, I don't feel like you recognize your power. Teachy, luck. And Sekhmet, healing. Yeah, you are healing. Your inner child is healing. And as you heal, you are able to change the way that you do things. This is also a message that this isn't about luck. This is about you putting in the hard work, because you are putting in the hard work. And you can be seen as lucky by others, but you know what it means to, put in the dedication, to put in that 7 of Pentacles energy where you're constantly working and going. For some of you with that 4 of Pentacles, what's coming in, it's time to be vulnerable in your creativity. And with that Queen of Cups, in order to be vulnerable, you're going to have to tap into your emotions to get whatever project this is off the ground, if this is resonating as a project. Alone time. Yeah. And this is self-care. And for some of you, it's about spending alone time. And what did I say? For some of you, you're going to have to remove what other people are doing around you, especially if they are in a similar field, and do your own thing because it's influencing you. And it's not influencing you in a way that's helpful at this time. Hydrate. Yeah. Make sure that you're drinking lots of water, but also with hydrate, that's about water. And what is water? Movement, emotions. Allow yourself to tap into the emotions and to keep things flowing in order for you to reach your prosperity. Again, for many of you, this is going to be some sort of project. So we have these final 2 cards as advice from your inner child. Moon with Jafar. And with the moon here, this is saying tap into the subconscious, the unconscious mind. Tap into the emotions, into the depth of yourself. For some of you, doing some shadow work would be helpful. And Empress with Pocahontas. And Miko, I believe is his name. With the Empress here, you are able to create. You are able to bring things to life. It's just about allowing yourself to do so. Break free from the mold that you have set for yourself. And in order to do that, you're going to have to go within. You're going to have to go and kind of get to know the subconscious, and that's why you need some alone time. Pile number 3, you're also able to really connect to the archetypes and work. I feel like for many of you, you're writers. Take that as it resonates, but that's what I'm getting. And you're able to unlock like that oneness consciousness and just write from a place of deep emotions that other people can relate to, or create from that place if you are not writers. But yeah, pile number 3, that is all I have for you. If you like this video, please like, subscribe, hit the notification bell. If you have suggestions for future videos, leave that in the comment section below. And if you'd like to book a personal reading, that information is in the description box below. Thank you so much for watching, and I will talk to you soon. Bye for now.